Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 8, Episode 7, and today we're celebrating on the last day of the season against the Chelsea side who are battling for a top 4 place. Will it be them or Liverpool who join us in the Champions League after we remarkably have finished in the top 3? We're guaranteed a group stage place next year. It's been a dream come true this season. We've managed to break into the top 6. We've taken the place of Arsenal, who have just survived their relegation battle, and Barnsley go into the final day today, our former club with a chance to send Southampton down and remarkably stay in the Premier League. So it could be brilliant for us on all fronts, but we've just got to focus on ourselves and enjoy the fact that we could yet finish second in the league if results all go our way. Manchester City are champions as we expected a long time ago, though the fact we're within 6 points is absolutely ridiculous at this stage. I've no idea how we've got to this stage already, but we'll review the lads at the end of the season and give them all the praise they deserve. But let's get this first game out of the way, as well as reviewing our recent fixtures. So it's been made all the more remarkable by the fact that we've had a run of injuries as well. There's been one position where we haven't had a player at all for the last month. So if we look at the recent results since the Everton Cup tie, we got revenge on them in the league, a 2-1 win at home. Greenwood and Rivera scored in that one. Kasper Dolberg with a late consolation, but it wasn't enough for Everton. We then won 5-1 away to struggling Southampton. That's the result that could save Barnsley today. Mason Greenwood got 4 goals in that game, and Ranzan got one as well, though Iwobi picked up a knock. Then a 2-2 draw at home to Watford. It was Greenwood again with Rivera getting the other. A late equaliser against a good side in Watford. They've really been doing well in this save. Then we won 4-0 away at Brighton. This is the one that surprised us. Mason Greenwood put us ahead after 2 minutes, then went off injured after 4. Don't forget we had Bernard out on a long-term injury as well. So Ranzan went up front, Lavinas came on the wing, and we still countered to a 4-0 victory. Then at home to Huddersfield with no strikers at all, Ranzan went up front again and scored, and we won 6-0 this time against a terrible side. And then we won 2-0 away to Wolves, again Ranzan getting a goal in that striking position, and the free agent Oliveira doing his bit as well. So it was a relatively easy run in, but we made the most of it, and now we've got Chelsea today and don't have to worry about getting a result. I'm sure Liverpool would like us to, but we're not too worried about that. They could have done the job themselves earlier in the season. So let's go and have a look at our lineup for today. We're at home to the 5th place side. It's on TV. I would imagine the Liverpool one will be as well, as that's going to be crucial for deciding the Champions League next year. Jardim's in charge of Chelsea. Callum Hudson-Odoi's out injured, a man who's been making an impact for England in real life last week. He's transfer listed by Chelsea remarkably and has only made 1 appearance in Europe all season. He scored in that appearance too, so that seems a little bit harsh. Let's look at our lineup then. Not too many changes. We've still got Ranzan up front. Bernard's just about back to fitness today, but after 3 months out, we don't want to risk him from the start. We don't want him getting injured for pre-season next year. We're going to give a couple of youngsters a run out today, so I'm going to put Martin Chapman in at right back for Matiju, and I'm going to give Declan Rice a start as well. He's not really a youngster anymore, but it's good to give him a bit of football. So he's going to come in for Douglas Luiz and just playing that Segundo Volante role. We'll leave the rest as it is. The other one we were going to bring in is Lavinas, but unfortunately he picked up a little knock as well. He's still got to be on the bench due to the small squad we've got, but he's certainly not going to feature from the start. So let's get into the game, see if we can get a result against Chelsea, deny them a top 4 place. If you remember the Boxing Day game we showed, episode 3 of this season, it was an absolutely remarkable match. David Raya was on form, we were brilliant on the counter, and it was just a wonderful game of football. That's a side that you would have banked on getting in the Champions League, but unfortunately it hasn't gone well for them since, and they're now fighting for it on the final day. So let's see if we can deny them, and more importantly, let's keep an eye on Barnsley and see if they can stay up as well. It's the familiar 4-2-3-1 for Chelsea. They've got Gedson Fernandes in midfield, Titi and Zuma, Jordan Pickford, Kieran Tierney and Phil Foden in the number 10 role. And then they've got Larson on the right wing, who's caused us trouble every time we've played them. Let's go and talk to the lads though, tell them to prove a point. I'm more looking forward to the end of season review, just so I can praise all of the lads. And then we'll try and second guess what our director of football will do in the summer. And imagine if we'll get any offers from big elite clubs. I know Newcastle are a big team, but I'm talking about the superpowers of world football. Arzani with an early cross which is blocked. Gedson clears away for Kamara, and now it's Larsson, the danger man, on the right. What a ball that is, but Chapman, the youngster, does well. Really training well. He's coming up in the training report every week as one of the star performers, and we keep praising him and he keeps developing, so I hope he'll be a part of the Newcastle first team picture in the future. I'm sure the fans would absolutely love it. Mike Ashley gone, and a youngster coming through the club into the first team. Gedson shoots from the edge of the box for Chelsea, but it's high and wide, and with 10 minutes gone, we haven't had a shot, but it's still goalless. We've got a free kick with Arzani though. He puts it over the bar. There was no need to see that. It wasn't even close to the goal. It was a mildly offensive highlight. Chapman with a throw in from the right. A long clearance away from Chelsea. Lascelles finds Rivera, who nicks it away from the defender. Arzani's gone for an awful shot there though. Little bit greedy from the wide man, and it's gone over the bar. Pickford with a long clearance downfield. Rice wins the header in that Segundo Volante role. That's the one thing he'll give us that Douglas Luiz doesn't. That understanding and positional sense of a centre-half. But Larsson's gone through. We mentioned in pre-game, every time we play against them he causes trouble, and he's just scored an absolute rocket from the edge. I'm not quite sure what happened with Raya, as it looked a fairly central effort, but unfortunately he couldn't keep it out, and Chelsea lead 1-0 after 20 minutes. Rivera gets the ball to Lewis though. Can we find an instant reply? Lewis to Ranzan, turns a man, hits the woodwork and is cleared away. The auxiliary striker making a good fist of it, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough, and we miss having one of our number 9s up there. Zuma with a long clearance as far as Chapman. He gets the ball down the line to Arzani. Not had the best start to the game, but he finds Oliveira into Iwobi on the volley. What a wonderful goal that is. Free agent Oliveira sets it up again. He's going to be very integral in our end of season review. What a signing he was by our director of football. Iwobi to Ranzan as we come forward again. He's one of the best free agent signings I've ever seen, closely followed by Greenwood, who's been brilliant for us too. We've got a world-class director of football and a Champions League team next year, so hopefully with the budget we've got, he'll be able to attract players. Iwobi's just scored again though. From the left-hand side, a short pass from Rivera, cuts in on the edge of the D, and a wonderful effort into the near corner. Jordan Pickford possibly could have done better. It's 2-1 though, we've turned it around, and Chelsea seem to be on the ropes. It's a free kick on the left for Jamal Lewis. He finds Rivera, short to Declan Rice. He comes forward to Arzani, beats a man to Oliveira, tries to set Iwobi up for a hat-trick, but he's too wide, and the cross is blocked and cleared away. Kamara's coming forward to Gedson. Over halfway, it's a 4-on-4 now. Larsson's in on the right again, crosses for the left winger, and it's blocked off the bar and cleared away by Chapman and Oliveira at the second attempt. A wonderful bit of football. I just realised when he got to the left winger that I had absolutely no idea how to pronounce his name. Gedson's in. I didn't want to see it. I thought it was going to be a goal. We've made our tactical changes as recommended by our assistant, and David Raya had saved us again in the meantime. Lascelles clears the ball long to Ranzan. He cuts inside, manages to keep hold of the ball somehow, and it's back to Iwobi, but he's given it away, and unfortunately it remains 2-1, but Chelsea are starting to look threatening. Oliveira's lost the ball in the middle. It falls straight for Rivera though, and now Arzani. Lovely switch to Iwobi. He's cut inside again, shoots from the edge, deflects off a Chelsea man into the path of Ranzan, but he was offside from the original shot, and unfortunately the highlight ends. Arzani shoots from a free kick, Pickford tips it wide. It's another fantastic game between these two sides. Let's hope we can avoid doing anything silly before the break. It's Larsson charging through the team though, and Raya has to make a good save, holding the ball at the second attempt under no pressure. Zuma with a long ball out forward. It's headed away by Lewis. Back to Larsson again, he's causing all sorts of trouble, and Raya has to tip it behind for a corner. Larsson is like a one-man team for Chelsea. We're going to talk about our transfer budget after the game. I was hoping he was someone our director of football might sign, but he's going to be nowhere near the budget to sign him. It's only about 45 million we've been given, and it's one of the things that makes me think I have to accept an elite offer if we get it, as we've not been given a budget to compete in a Champions League. With a squad of 19 or 20, we needed to add 3 or 4 to the squad. Raya finds Tierney on the left. The left winger crosses it, but Lewis heads away, and Gedson wins the knockdown, but it's straight into the arms of Raya. He comes out and claims, and then they go short to Konza. I'm not sure about that, playing it out from the back. We like to play good football, but that one seemed a little bit silly. Tierney finds Barrea. He gets it out to Zuma. Long ball down the right-hand side, which Lewis heads away, but only as far as Kamara. Larsson beats 2 men and crosses again. The left winger shoots. It deflects in the second time. Might go down as an own goal. David Arzani has not had the best game, game, and now it's compounded his misery with an own goal on the stroke of half time. It's 2-2 as we go into 2 minutes of added time. Plenty of twos there, and Arzani coming forward. He finds Iwobi. End-to-end game into the box. He's won a penalty straight away. He's on for a hat-trick. Will he take it? He's actually the best penalty taker at the club, so we don't really have a choice either. I thought they were just doing it because he was on a hat-trick. He's missed the penalty though. Pickford saves. Comfortable height and a poor effort, and he's out for a corner kick, which Arzani will take. Straight into the arms of Pickford. He's had a terrible half, and had Lavinas been fit, we wouldn't have had to witness that half at all. Frustrating from our point of view, but a fantastic game of football. It's 2-2 at the break. I was just having a look at Barnsley. They're 0-0 as are Southampton. So as it stands, Barnsley are down. Arsenal are drawing 0-0, but they can't be relegated anymore. And then Liverpool are drawing 0-0, which obviously affects Chelsea. As it stands, Chelsea were behind on goal difference, so they need to get a result against us, or at least better Liverpool's. So let's go and talk to the lads. We'll tell them to prove a point again. Chapman's been given a low rating for this game. How it's worse than Arzani's, I don't know. But let's get into the second half and see if we can get the 3 points. It'd be a wonderful way to celebrate the end to the season. Whatever happens for the rest of this game, our fans better applaud us off. It's been a remarkable season. We've taken Newcastle back to compete with the elite, up in the title race for the first half of the year, and into the Champions League next year under the lights at St James's Park. You can see we're struggling without the striker today. Ranzan's on a 6.3. He'll come off as Bernard makes his return from injury, but we can't expect him to be sharp in the last half an hour. Arzani's got the ball on the right back to Chapman. He finds Lascelles. Back to the keeper in David Raya, and we can start to build an attack from scratch. He goes short to Konza. The ball playing centre half, a long ball over. Terrible to Kessie, and his clearance is just as bad. Iwobi charges at the defence. What a ball to Oliveira, but he's managed to put it past the keeper, but also against the post. And then they managed to get it clear on the rebound, out for a throw-in on the right. We can see Barnsley have gone behind against Wolves. That's bad news for us. Our former club, we wanted them to stay up. We loved having them in the Premier League, but based on the game we played against them on camera, we can certainly understand why they're going down. Southampton are drawing 0-0, so they would have kept them out anyway, but we don't want to see Barnsley losing in their final Premier League game. Liverpool still drawing 0-0, which obviously affects Chelsea. One of those sides is going to be in the Europa League next year, as Lopez puts a shot wide, and then we suddenly have a very slow moment before the sub's made. 20 minutes to go. Ranzan's going to come off. Florentin Bernard on. Lavinas will come on for Arzani on the right hand side, and Rivera's got a yellow card, so we're going to bring on Douglas Luiz for him. I'm not sure which one's best in central midfield. I think it'll be Declan Rice, so we're just going to put him in there and see how he gets on for the last 20. 15 to go now as a few more minutes pass, and we'll see if we can get a 3 points with just one more chance towards the end of the game. We're back with Declan Rice in the middle of the pitch, gives it to Bernard, the substitute. He finds Lavinas, charging down the right. It's blocked, but it goes straight back to him. And at the second time of asking, I'm presuming that was a strike from 40 yards. It's deflected out for a throw on the right. Chapman will take it, the youngster. He finds Lavinas. Poor first touch and the highlight ends. I have no idea why we saw that break. Zuma heads away the next ball. Let's hope this attack's a bit more meaningful. It's Jamal Lewis on the left. Cuts in and shoots his wide at the post. That's greedy as well. He could have easily got to the byline and tried to find a 3 in the middle. Zuma's got the ball on halfway for Chelsea. We're into 3 minutes of added on time as they go for their last chance to get into the Champions League. Kessie tries to cross, but Lewis blocks and clears long towards Oliveira, the number 10. Our last chance now is 3 on 2. Bernard's got the ball on the left channel. Got 2 men in the box. Back to Iwobi. Bernard again goes for a silky cross. It's cleared away though and long downfield. It looks like Chelsea are surviving. Iwobi with a throw back to Lewis. Lewis tries to cross and it's blocked again, but he's got another throw on the left which he plays to Iwobi. Lewis again. He tries to beat a man inside to Oliveira. Cuts inside. Tries to find Iwobi. Zuma clears it and now Lopez. Konza hacks it away. It's desperate defending from both sides. You couldn't tell we had nothing riding on the game. We've worked really hard in this one. Lewis finds Luiz on the edge. He's got a man over on the right but chooses to shoot, and Pickford tips it wide for a corner. A wonderful effort from the lad, but it's out and our last chance will come from a set piece. An outswinger. It will be taken by Lavinas. Can he find a man in the box for us? Poor corner straight to Zuma. Lascelles heads it down and it's cleared again. Ribeiro goes long to the left winger, but Chapman mops up well. His rating's recovered in this half and he goes back to David Raya, the keeper. The final whistle goes. It's a 2-2 draw. No goals added in the second half, but a really good performance to close the season. Our assistant's telling us not to be too hard on the lads. We're not going to because they've done alright. We'll tell them they were unlucky and they're happy enough. Ante has not had a new contract yet, interestingly. Our director of football's in charge of that and he obviously thinks he can get someone better. We finished in 3rd place. Man City lost on the final day of the season, but obviously it didn't matter for them. They still win the league. Man United beat bottom side Huddersfield 3-0 to cement 2nd place. And then we finish above Chelsea as Liverpool lose late at Bristol City. What a turn of events that is. Chelsea join us in the Champions League next year. Liverpool and Spurs settle for 5th and 6th. And then West Ham in 7th will be in the Europa League, providing there's not a surprise winner in the FA Cup. Barnsley unfortunately are relegated, our former side, so they're going to be back in the Championship next year. No more games against them for us. Let's go and see what the media said about the game. We were held. It suggests we had the better of it. 60% possession, 20 shots. We edged all the stats apart from the one that matters. The 2-2 draw is the important bit, but we're not too worried as the game meant nothing to us. Iwobi shined, he got 2 goals, but he did miss a penalty as well. That could have won us the game. We'll deal with the press conference off camera. They're talking about Larsson there, who's caused us trouble again. We've got a bit of a bogey player there in Larsson, and we're a bit worried about him next year. We receive an additional £40 million, no more than we're going to get as a transfer budget next year, so our director of football's going to find it tough, though we could get an elite offer from one of the world's super clubs after this year's performance. Let's see what the squad payout is. Just £3 million, so they're a bit stingy there as well. That means that we've made a profit of nearly 40 million, but still can't get more for the transfer budget. If we go and look at the squad, we're going to round off the season. Should be fairly easy as we don't have a big squad at all. We're just going to be celebrating how brilliant they all were as they contributed to a quite wonderful year on the pitch. In terms of appearances, Konza, the signing from last January, he made the most and started 44 games, closely followed by the skipper Lascelles. Oliveira and Ray are above 40 as well. Some fantastic consistency there, and there weren't many that we didn't use at all. Sigurdsson didn't get a start, but everyone made 7 appearances or more. They all contributed to a fantastic year. In terms of goals, we've got 21 for Mason Greenwood, 14 for the wonder kid Bernard, and 14 for free agent Oliveira. Brilliant from midfield from him. Then 8, 7 and 6 for a few of the midfielders. They've really all contributed brilliantly. For assists, we've got 2 men in double figures. Oliveira, the free agent again, 17 for him. What a wonderful signing he's been. Thankfully he's got 4 more years on his deal. He's been an absolute superstar. Our director of football's best signing by far. I'm sure some of you will rightly argue other people's cases, but no one can beat getting this guy on a free agent. He's starting to want a new deal there. I can see in his dynamics. So if he asks for one, director of football, make sure you give him a bumper contract. We can't be losing him, and we can't be losing Arzani, who despite a poor game against Chelsea there, contributed 13 assists this season, 9 for Lewis from left fullback, and then Iwobi the left winger with 6 as well. The wonder kid right winger Lavinas got 5, and plenty of others chipped in with a couple too. And in average rating, I normally highlight those that got above a 7. This time there's only 4 who didn't. The new signing, the youngster from the youth intake last year, the old season pro who's retiring in the summer, and then the wonder kid who's very slightly below, but a lot of his appearances were off the bench. An absolutely wonderful year. Arzani's the pick of the bunch, and then above 7.2 we've got Oliveira and Greenwood as well, and Jamal Lewis is on the money, which is a brilliant rating for the fullback. David Raya, the goalkeeper, with a 7.05. He came to our rescue a few times as well, and we've got to make sure that even though he's wanted, our director of football doesn't let him go in the summer. We've got no say in that, but we can just cross our fingers and hope when we come back for the first game of next season, all of these lads are still here. We'll finish off with the competition screen just after looking at our transfer budget to confirm 47.3 million, but we've got a lot of money left on the wage bill, so we could possibly get in another free agent if there's a special one, or we could move a bit of that over so our director of football can bring in 2 good players. If we finish on the competition screen now, as promised, we'll see what a wonderful season it's been in the league. The disappointment, of course, is that we still haven't got a trophy in our career. We possibly could have stayed at Barnsley last season and made sure we won the championship, but let's be honest, we couldn't turn down this job, and we've certainly been proved proven right now. Barnsley are going back to the Championship, we're going into the Champions League, and we're going to have our first game in Europe from the series next time out when we come back in Season 9. I can't wait for that, and I hope you look forward to it too. Hopefully our director of football will do something special, although we could be snapped up by a world superpower. Shall we just see if there's any jobs available, just in case we can expect an offer? I don't think there'll be any yet, as most of the seasons finish slightly after us. The Liverpool job's going, so we could get tempted to the Europa League. They've got a lot of world-class players. In terms of job security, we'll just go and see if any clubs are struggling. Inter Milan down there, 4.5 star, they're 6th in Serie A. Very insecure job security there, so that could be an interesting one in the summer. And look there as well, 2nd place in the Spanish First Division. Real Madrid's job could be coming up. That's one we'd certainly like to take. We couldn't turn down either of those. They're world superpowers in terms of football, and if we get the opportunity, we have to make that move realistically. But that will be all for this episode, and in fact this season. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video as always. I really do appreciate your continued support with the series. It certainly means a lot, and I hope you're looking forward to Season 9 as much as I am. I'm hoping we might get an offer from one of these massive clubs, but either way we're going to be managing in Europe next year, and that's something we couldn't have predicted in Season 2 when we'd just been sacked from both of our first 2 clubs. So certainly a brilliant turnaround in the last 7 years, and we're really looking forward to testing ourselves in the elite competition against the very best of clubs, no matter who we're managing next year. Let me know down in the comments how on earth we finished 3rd this season. Which signing do you think was the best? I'm sure it was Oliveira, but you guys can obviously argue otherwise. And you can get your predictions in early. Do you think we're going to get any big job offers in the summer? Or do you think we're going to have to spend one more year at Newcastle, just building our reputation a bit more? If we go to our profile screen, we've now got a 3-star reputation, and once our money comes in over the summer, we'll ask for a new coaching course as well, which will hopefully upgrade our license. If the opportunities come, let me know what I should do. I know we have to keep this save realistic, but how do you choose between Liverpool, Inter and Real Madrid in terms of realism? I presume you go Real Madrid, but I'm assuming I'm going to get one of these chances. It might be completely irrelevant in a couple of days' time. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one the head coach, and then our one club series part of the furniture, where we don't have to worry about any of these job offers. We can just crack on and build one club, taking them from the lowest playable league to the top of English and European football. Also, keep your eyes peeled on Fridays over the next couple of months, as we'll be starting some new content on the channel from other sports games. There's a couple coming out this spring that I'm really looking forward to, and we'll be featuring those on the channel during the spring and summer, so I hope you enjoy those as well. But a massive thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time for the start of Season 9. Which club will we be at?